Everybody hold on to your hats because it's time for liftoff.
10, 9, 8, 7,
Come on.
6,
Countdown
5,
with me.
4,
3, 3.5,
2,
2 and
1
1/4.
0. Ignition.
Come on, baby.
Liftoff.
Okay, amigos.
Liftoff.
It's going to be a bumpy exit, but it's going to be a wild ride. Come on. Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Ready for the ride of your life. The show with on Vaughn Radio. Listen to the crowd go wild. Come on, let's go. The roar of the crowd. This isn't an English class. This is a rock concert. This is a party where we rock and roll, we learn, we laugh, we play, and most of all, we spread a lot of positivity every chance we get. Folks, welcome to the show with no name. Are you with me? I hope so. I don't care what day of the week it is. I don't care what time it is. I don't care what month it is. I don't even care what temperature it is. I came to have a good time with my amigos today, and I'll be damned if anybody's going to stand in my way. We are determined to have a blast, to learn, to laugh, and to celebrate life. And who knows, maybe we'll even celebrate some birthdays as well on our famous birthdays. Remember to let me know when it's your birthday so we can shout you out here on the show. Tomorrow, one of my students is celebrating a birthday, Paco. But we'll wait for tomorrow, Paco. But I've got you in my calendar, Paco. Oh, yeah. Some of you, I've got your number. Os tengo calado. Os tengo fichado. I know when your birthday is. And I'm not going to let you forget it. Last week, it was Born to Iron Man's birthday. And this week, we've got Paco coming up. And who knows? We'll see who's got a birthday today coming up on our famous birthday section. Also a reminder, guys, wherever you get your Vaughn podcasts, you've got a brand spanking new episode of FYI on grocery stores. You can say supermarkets or grocery stores. Attention shoppers. There's a special on sliced bread and chopped liver. 2 for $1. Today only. This offer is exclusively for Club Card members. Happy shopping and have a nice day. You can find anything you may need in the aisles of these often unpopular places where we purchase our basic necessities. Nevertheless, we need to go to grocery stores in order to keep both our bellies and our fridges full. Oops! Clean up on aisle 4. We'll suss out supermarkets on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
Inglés.
You got it. That's right, folks. Brand spanking new episode of FYI every Friday. So in addition to all the amazing programs here on Vaughn Radio, well, you've got some more stuff to keep you ready, keep you willing. And I know you guys are ready and willing. Muchas veces decimos estas dos palabras juntas. I'm ready and willing. Estoy listo y con muchas ganas. So let's kick off with today's pop quiz. Now, if you guys don't sing along with me, I will be personally offended. So you better sing it with me. It's time for Pop
quiz. Come on. Let's celebrate, folks. We're here. We're together. We're alive. We feel good. Most of us. Most days. Come on. Pop quiz. You can stand up. I can't. If not, the microphone won't catch me. All right. Let's go. Pop quiz. Come on. I can't hear you. Pop quiz. Now I can hear you. That's better. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz, baby. That's right, amigos. It is our pop quiz. And speaking of pop quiz, just a reminder, coming up, mark your calendars, November 1st, I will be hosting a Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, but it's not going to be your typical trivia night. You know why? It's going to be scary. It's going to be creepy. It's going to be kooky. Hey, that sounds like the Addams Family song. They're creepy and they're kooky. Well, folks, it's Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. It's All Saints Day, and I will be hosting. It's going to be based on horror stuff. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be drinking some beers, shooting the breeze, estando de palique, and it's over at Roll Madrid. Now, I understand if you don't live in Madrid, it's harder to get here, but it's a holiday. So try and get here if you can. We'd love to see you. I know many of you have made a tremendous effort to get here on November 1st for the creepiest, spookiest, most exciting party. Well, I hope so. Now I'm really talking it up. No promocionando. Well, it's going to be awesome, I promise. There will be musical parts. There'll be a visual section. And most importantly, you will be surrounded by friends and, of course, your teachers, your classmates. So join us for a creepy trivia night. It's November 1st at Roll Madrid, Calle de Amañel 23. If you want more information, go to our website. It's grupovon.com. And follow us on social media, because if you're following along on social media, well, you'll find out about all kinds of exciting things. Special deals, like right now, we've got deals with our Vaughn groups and also our weekend camps. You've got Vaughn Town Masters. You got the Evening Masters. We've got so many different options. You can even get private classes, particulares, you say. Yo antes decía privado. Clase privada. Decís particular, right? Son cosas particulares. That's particular in English. I don't mean to be particular, but I love those nuances. Me encantan esos matices. Los matices. Oh, why do you have gender in your language? Man, you guys are... You throw me off. Me desconcertáis. All right, so join us. Follow us on social media, and you'll know about everything going on in the Vaughn world. Plus, you'll get tons of content as well. And I hope you're content with that content. I hope you're content with that content. All right, let's take a look. I see we've got a lot of amigos joining us here in the Vaughn group, the online classroom. But let's kick off with our pop quiz just to get those creative juices flowing. We're going to do a couple examples, and I don't want you to write them now. I just want you to say them. In fact, honestly, that's the most important thing, that you know how to say these things, not so much as write them. But we're going to do something. We're going to flip the script today. To flip the script, dale la vuelta al guión, la tortilla, you say. And normally it's, hi, how are you? I'm doing pretty well, thanks. Where are you from? I'm from the United States. Normally it's question answer. Well, today we're going to flip the script and we're going to do answers looking for questions. I love this because it makes you think backwards a little bit. All right, let's warm up easy, and then we can always make it a little more difficult. Now, these are just right now the warm-up questions. Para ir calentando. I know you guys warmed up with my buddy Fitz on No Excuses, and if you didn't, come on, guys. You got one of the greatest English teachers in the land, and he's right before this show to warm you up and get you ready for an amazing day and to get that brain ready, as you say, to get that chip, to change that chip into English. It happens to me. Anybody who's bilingual, trilingual, you're always changing chips. All right, here we go. He died of a heart attack. What's the question? Y no he dicho, he died of a heart attack, es muy diferente, right? He died of a heart attack. Es who died of a heart attack. Pero yo no he puesto, o sea, very important here that you listen to where I put the emphasis in the sentence. So he died of a heart attack. I'm telling you the cause. Do you know it? How did he die? How did he? Fijaos, la H me lo como. No me gusta la H esa de he. So I say Diddy. How did he die? Diddy. P. Diddy. You know the rapper P. Diddy? So what you want to do? You want to be ballers, shot callers, brawlers, in the Benz with the spoilers. Hey, I remember some stuff from my days in New York. All right, so Diddy, but his name is P. Diddy. Bueno, lo ha cambiado mil veces. Sean Combs. His real name is Sean Combs, but he is a producer and rapper. Very famous. Biggie Smalls worked under him. Anyway, if you know how to say his name, P. Diddy, then you know how to say did he, as we would. When did he die? He died. Oh, no, it wasn't when. Sorry. Well, he died at 3 a.m. When did he die? How did he die? He died of a heart attack. All right. Next one, my amigos. This is just to warm up, and then I'm going to give you 3 that I want translated. All right. The next one. There have been 2 meetings this week. There have been, estructura bastante común, ha habido, you say it in Spanish too. There have been 2 meetings this week. How many meetings have there been? Did you say it like that? How many meetings have there been so far this week? Hasta ahora. Cuando vemos el so far, tiramos para el presente perfecto, porque significa que sigue en vigor. It's a little trick. Lately, so far, presente perfecto es I have, or she or he or it has, más participio. A little trick, right? Lo mismo que cada vez que dices tomorrow es, yesterday is pasado simple. You know, there's no way around it. That's the way it goes. So you associate certain words with certain tenses, diferentes tiempos verbales. Okay? So that one was the answer was there have been 2 meetings this week. How many meetings have there been so far this week? All right, let's get another one to warm up. And then I'm going to give you 3 that I want you to give me the corresponding question to. All right. The speech lasted 30 minutes. The speech lasted 30 minutes. Okay? Did you say how many time? No, you can say how many times, pero eso es cuántas veces. No tiene que ver con longitud de tiempo. So always think of how long? Chili Peppers. So how long did the speech last? The speech lasted 30 minutes. All right, here we go, folks. Your turn. Give me all 3 together, please. The first one is I chose that one because it was cheaper. I chose that one because it was cheaper. That's number 1. I want the question. Okay. They're mine. Son míos. They're mine. They're mine is the second one. Okay? And the next one and last one. It's been done twice this week. It's been done. It has been done. Contraído. Porque es más natural. It's been done twice this week. There you go, folks. Those are your 3 answers looking for their corresponding question. It's today's pop quiz. I'd love for you to participate. Speaking of participation, a nice round of applause to all our amigos who are participating both live and on the podcast. Doesn't matter how, whether you listen to it at midnight or at the crack of dawn, a primera hora. Thank you for listening. Thanks for participating and being a show with no namers. Speaking of show with no namers, David's in the house. He says, good morning, Alberto. Good morning, sir. A pleasure to have you with us. Born to Iron Man says, morning, folks. Happy Valencian Community Day. What's up, Valencia? Does that mean you're off today? Hoy estás libre. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, amigos in Valencia, enjoy your day. Stop by the Vaughan office. Are we open? I don't even know. Well, either way, maybe not today, right? Either way, you can go to our website, grupovon.com. You can go to our bookshop, vaughantienda.com, or you can stop into one of our offices in Bilbao, Valladolid, Zaragoza, Barcelona, Valencia, Santander, Vigo, and of course, here in the capital, Madrid. All right, who else is on board and ready to rock? Laura. Laura says, good morning, lovely show with no namers. We are determined to learn English and have a blast together. Happy Valencian Community Day. Awesome. Yes, I told you there was something to celebrate. There's always something to celebrate. All right. Kubla says, morning, lovely fellow students and teach. I'm as happy as a clam. Great expression. As happy as a clam. Tan contento como una almeja. Yeah, that's what we say. It's true. I'm as happy as a clam and try to be in the loop. I'll charge English like a ram and hopefully I'll fit in the group. A little poetry to kick things off. Good morning to you, Kubla. All right, who else? Chris Valrol. Morning, Alberto and mates. I can't attend the show today. I'm stopping by to say hi. Have a ball, dear show with no namers. I prefer nuances instead of matices. Oh, yeah. Well, Chris, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for popping by. Let's see. Who else have we got? Laura. Laura's participating now in our pop quiz. She's going to take a stab at it. She thinks she's got all 3 of them. Do you guys, you think she's got them? I'll bet on her. Yo apuesto. Y no lo he mirado, eh? I promise. I didn't peek. No miré. No, I didn't peek. But I have a feeling, I have a hunch that she nailed it. Let's see. Laura, the first one. Why did you choose that one? I chose that one because it was cheaper. The first one is correct. Cuidado con esta, eh? Porque se lían mis alumnos en general con el choose, chose, chosen. Porque he oído chosen, he oído de todo, eh? So, ojito. Choose, chose, chosen. Seems like Laura's the chosen one. La elegida, the chosen one. She nailed it. Good job. Oh, and you know a way around this? Una forma de evitar este choose, que se suele liar. Usa pick. Escoger, pick. Porque es un verbo regular. I picked this one. They've picked. No, es igual, entonces. All right, the second one. They're mine. Parece fácil esta. They're mine. Son míos. Un error muy común, muy más de novato, pero importante. The mine, el mío, no. They're mine. They're mine, not the mine. they're mine. So the second one is correct. All right. And the next one, it's been done twice this week. It's been done twice this week. And Laura says, how many times has it been done this week? Laura knocking it out of the park. Great job. All right. Also, it looks like Born to Iron Man as well. Looks right to me at first glance. A primera mirada. Kubla looks right to me. Anix as well. Wonderful job. Hey, show with no namers. All right. And German says, hello, everyone. How was the after party? Oh, yeah. Well, we're still partying here. We haven't stopped. We're going to keep it going on and on and on. And folks, I've got to remind you, I almost forgot myself. We've got to take a look at the question of the week.
Question of the week.
That's right, folks. Question of the week. Let's take a look at this week's question. Oh, and by the way, let me tell you this. It's not this week's question. I'm giving you tons of time here to prepare. So let me just check my calendar here. So this question is not for this week because this week we don't have a full week, even though you'll have a show on Friday, a live show. Since Thursday, it's a weird week. Some people will be Valencia Day. So this week we're skipping question of the week, but this is great because I'm giving you more than enough time to prepare for the next one, which will be on the 20th of October, 2023. On the 20th of October, 2023. And this is the question. Now, this is a funny one because this is one we can all learn from as well. As I always say, some of our biggest mistakes end up being our funniest stories, our best anecdotes, right? And so, I don't know why the here on the video, for some reason, I'm out of focus. My face is blurry. I don't know why. Well, I guess the show must go on no matter what. But I'm trying to get it to focus. Let's see. What if I put my hand there? Okay, that's a little bit better. I don't know. Well, either way, let's look at the question of the week because we have to go to a commercial break very, very soon. So here's your question of the week. It's not for this Friday, but hey, you can get it out of the way. Quítalo de medio. All you have to do is send me a 1-minute voice message. You can record it on your phone and you can send it to this email address. Are you ready? Write this down. It's alonso@grupovon.com. At is arroba, and we know .com is .com. And this week's question, well, it's not so much a question, but tell us your most embarrassing mistake in English. And I mean the one where you were like, oh, are you serious? Did I just say that? That's not what I wanted to say. Where you got really embarrassed. So we all have that story over there. One of mine. I'll give you one of my many ones. How many times I've said to women, especially, because to men, I'm like, who cares? But how many times when a woman said, oh, qué calor hace? And I was like, sí, estoy caliente. So I'm telling this, 75-year-old woman in my building that I'm horny. I'm horny, 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 horny tonight. Hey, live and learn. We'll take a look at your most embarrassing mistakes, faux pas, screw-ups in English. You can send us a 1-minute voice message. Remember, make it funny. You're a storyteller. Sell your story. And I have a feeling that we are going to crack up. Que nos vamos a partir. We're going to crack up on this question of the week. So start thinking about your most embarrassing mistake in English. And once you know it, you can send a 1-minute voice message to alonso@grupovon.com. I urge you all to participate. It's a great way to express yourself in English. Folks, we're going to a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back with tons more Show with No Name. So, stick around. Hey, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget to tune in to all our exciting programs. You've got Drive Time with Kyle Miller, The Salad with Dave Boyce, Let's Get Random with Jules Linares, Back to Basics with Tosh Pasqua, The Lunchtime Show with Rob and Andy, Simena's Test Your English, Richard Vaughn Live, The Pro Bow Show. That's right, folks. The Pro Bow Show with Rob Grams. And I know I must be leaving somebody out. Who am I leaving out? Oh, yeah. Today's the day. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited. I'm going to tune in myself. That's right, folks. You'd better tune in. Today's the day we debut some brand new shows here on Vaughn Radio. I'm excited to listen today at 3 p.m. and also at 7:30 p.m. Folks, it is really exciting. There's a buzz in the air at Vaughn Radio. Wow. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. In new shows, you can join Ruby every weekday on her program Speak Up from 3 to 4 p.m. Speak Up is for students who are just getting started and superstars who want to go over the basics. Let Ruby guide you through the English experience on her new program Speak Up on Vaughn Radio from 3 to 4 p.m. And Frankly Speaking, hosted by Chris. This program will be on every evening from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And in Frankly Speaking, Chris Frank will make you feel like you were at the restaurant or bar with him in a totally native conversation. Learn English as you have fun with Frankly Speaking. So make sure you check out our 2 latest programs. You're going to love them. Frankly Speaking with Chris from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. and Speak Up with Ruby from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. I have a feeling, I have a hunch you're going to love these new programs. Exclusively on Vaughn Radio. Don't miss them. That's right, folks. Brand new shows. And today at 3, you've got Speak Up with Ruby. And then later at 7:30, you've got Frankly Speaking. Don't miss these new programs. Remember, they are all planned. Everything we do here, I always say this, but I'm going to quote Bryan Adams and Rod Stewart and whoever else is in this song. Everything we do it for you, including the Say What soundbite. Say what? What? All right, amigos, the Say What soundbite on the show with no name. We're going to hear an extremely famous person today. Oh, man. You don't get more famous than this. But more importantly here, I don't want to know who it is. I want to know what you got. I want to know how you can sum it up in your own words. I want to know if you recognize the accent more than the person. It's the Say What soundbite. You're going to hear this 4 times, amigos, and all you have to do is pay close attention and write down as much as you possibly can. This is the Say What soundbite for the first time.
When I go along the road in the car, I'm always doing the signpost backwards. Anyway, she didn't split the Beatles because how could one girl split the Beatles or one woman? You know? The Beatles were drifting apart on their own, you know.
All right. Easy, right? Not, I don't mean easy to understand. I mean, I think everybody knows who it is, right? I mean, okay. I imagine that part. All right. Well, let's hear this extremely famous person, this icon of sorts, for the second time. And then I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you heard, but I want you to, well, I don't have to tell you. You impress me every day. Here it is, folks. The Say What soundbite for the second time.
When I go along the road in the car, I'm always doing the signpost backwards. Anyway, she didn't split the Beatles because how could one girl split the Beatles or one woman? You know, the Beatles were drifting apart on their own. You know.
All right, there you go, folks. What did you hear? Also, I forgot to tell you earlier. There's, as you know, every Friday you get an episode of FYI, and from time to time, I release bonus episodes from the other seasons. And today, since it's Hedy Lamar's birthday, this fascinating woman, Hedy Lamar, I've decided to make the bonus episode of FYI on Hedy Lamar available to everybody. So wherever you get your podcast, you should see it. It was posted at 7 a.m. this morning. And if you don't know who Hedy Lamar is, get ready. She is awesome. This bombshell was both beautiful and brainy. Her contributions to science and the silver screen have cemented her as a timeless superstar. We wouldn't have had Wi-Fi and other wonderful ways of communicating if it hadn't been for this willful woman. Rolling. We'll fall head over heels in love with Hedy Lamar on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
English.
You got it. All right, there it is, folks. That's right. And I just shared the links with you here in the group. What I did as well is I shared the first episode, so you can listen to that first if you haven't listened to it in a while, because it came out. When did the first one? Oh, the first one came out a while ago. What does it say here? September 16th, 2022. Well, today on her birthday, what better day to learn about this amazing woman than on her birthday? So check it out wherever you get your Vaughn podcasts. The Hedy Lamarr episode of FYI, the bonus episode, is now available to everyone. All right, well, let's see what we've got here. Let's see if anybody has anything to say about our Say What soundbite. As I said, extremely famous individual. Let's see. Kubla in the house. He says it was an Englishman commenting on how a legendary pop band was disintegrating. Great. Short and sweet, Kubla. I like it. To the point. Al grano. That's what I like. Hey, you know me. I'm American. We go straight to the point. We're straight shooters, right? To be a straight shooter, we're going to learn about this soon in the weapons episode of FYI I'm working on, where we learn idiomatic expressions that have to do with weapons. And to be a straight shooter, ya te voy dando un avance, is somebody who says what they mean and mean what they say. They're not going to, they're sincere. They're frank, right? And Kubla's a straight shooter. Great. Anybody else? If not, we're going to move on to our spelling bee. I'll give you guys about another 30 seconds or so. If anybody wants to analyze what they heard in their best English. There's Laura. Shining bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. She says, I heard a British man stating that it wasn't a girl who made the Beatles split. They were already drifting apart on their own. Nailed it. Kubla and Laura, wonderful job. And I think we all know which Beatle it is, right? But again, that's not important. What's important is that you, let's say, this is the best way to describe what I want from you in this section. And let's just pretend that I left the room. Me fui de la habitación. I had to take a pee break. Tenía que hacer un mandado. And I said, man, I just missed it. What did that person say? And you're just paraphrasing what you heard. You're relaying that information to me. Transmitir. Yo creo que la prensa en los aeropuertos se llama relay, right? Well, think about it. To relay information is to pass it on. What do ¿Qué hace una prensa? ¿Qué hace la prensa? The press. Supposedly relay information or fake news. Anyone else? Going once, going twice. If not, you guys know I'd love to stay here all day, but as you know, we've got a lot of stuff to do in our show, and I don't want to cut any sections out unnecessarily. So, if nobody else is going to give us what they heard, we're going to move on, folks, to perhaps one of the most challenging sections on the show. You know it. It's our Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
All right, amigos. All right. It is time for today's Spelling Bee. And as always, I'm going to throw some words at you really fast. Get close to perfection. But the first round, I don't even think I would be able to get it, to be honest. Now, these are all, I believe, let me just check 1 second. Yes, these are all people. So what does that mean? We'll capitalize their first name, their last name. If they have a middle name, right? They are capitalized con mayúscula. All right, so is everybody ready? You know how it works. I am going to be relentless, despiadado, cutthroat in this first round. We'll see how you do. Here's your spelling bee. Here's your first name. And then I'm not stopping. So get ready. That's you. That's me buying you some time. Ready? Here we go. Grab those pens. The first one is ANDREW space LLOYD space WEBBER. The second one is CHARLES space HART. The third one is RICHARD space STILGOE. The fourth one is GASTON space LEROUX. The fifth one is SARAH space BRIGHTMAN. And the last one is MICHAEL space CRAWFORD. Okay, let me just breathe for a second if you don't mind. And I'll tell you what, let me give you a clue as to what today's spelling bee is. They can make us laugh, cry, stomp our feet, raise our fists in protest, but most importantly, they dazzle us and take us to another place without even leaving our seats. I feel lucky that some of my earliest and greatest memories are at Broadway shows. I've been to hundreds. The show's about to begin. Take your seats. We're going to Broadway, baby. It's showtime on FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
Inglés.
You got it. Broadway, huh? The theater, something to do with Broadway, something to do with plays, perhaps. You guys know me. I am I'm a theater buff. I love the theater, but also I love musical theater. You know, I know every word in Les Miserables. I know every word in Rent. I know every word in a lot of musicals. Okay. Well, I love that. Everybody, I love a lot of things. The only thing is I wish I had more money and more time to go to the theater. Because when you go to the theater, then you go out and you get a bite to eat, picoteas algo, and in the end, it can be a pretty costly night. And then if you have a child like me, babysitter, it's a logistical nightmare. It's easier to get supplies over to Hawaii, during a natural disaster. All right, let's take a look over here. Kubla's taking a stab at it, and let's see how he did. The first one is correct, Kubla. The second one is also correct. The third one's correct. The fourth one is correct. The fifth one's correct. And the sixth one is also correct. Nice job. Wow, that was really fast. Again, I doubt I could get it myself after that first go. All right, well, if you recognize some of these names, they all have to do with the theater, as I told you, and that's why I played the Broadway episode, which, by the way, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. That was like the second episode of FYI. I just shared the link with you. So I hope in 3-4 years that I've been doing FYI now that the show has improved and everything like that. But it's incredible. I listen to that now. I'm like, oh my God, how did I? So at least in my opinion, the sound quality, there's things I would change, and that's a good sign. That means that FYI has evolved. Well, I've become I hope after all these years of experience, a better podcaster, a better producer, And I hope you feel the same. I listen to that now and I'm like, wow, that was pretty novato. And I didn't even listen to the episode. I just listened to the intro. And now I'm like, no, quiero eso un segundito antes. It's a little bit different. You learn and you get more control. And obviously that gives you more work as well. All right, well, here we go, folks. We're going to do round 2 of today's Spelling Bee. Here's a rhythm, a pace that I think everybody should be able to figure out. Because I'm going to go like really, really, not slow, but clear and taking pauses like a normal person, okay? The first one is ANDREW space LLOYD space WEBBER. The second one is CHARLES space HART. The third one is RICHARD space STILGOE. The fourth one, GASTON space LEROUX. The fifth one, SARAH space BRIGHTMAN. And the last one, excuse me, I got some gas forming in my stomach or my throat. Es parte de la vida. Cosas del directo, as you say. Me encanta esa frase de español. Cosas del directo. Yeah, it's life. This isn't a dress rehearsal. Sometimes when we're speaking, well, we get gas bubbles. But hopefully that didn't stop you guys. Anyway, here's your sixth one. And it's MICHAEL space CRAWFORD. There you go, my amigos. Also, we've got some more winners now. Give it up for Laura. That's right, Laura and Kubla. You guys are on it today. You are definitely on fire. And, well, we're going to have to call. That's more of a police siren. Well, you're under arrest for doing so damn good. Stop them. They're unstoppable. All right, folks. As Kubla says, it looks like a list of people involved in the production of The Phantom of the Opera. That's right, The Phantom of the Opera. Remember, the word in English, phantom, is PH, starts with a PH. This is a musical with music by Andrew Lloyd Webber. This guy is basically like, he's Mr. Broadway. Andrew Lloyd Webber. Not only did he do The Phantom of the Opera, which finally I saw The Phantom of the Opera. Notice, I don't say opera. We say opera in the United States. Nos comemos la E. But I saw it for the first time like 4 years ago. And it's the typical like story where it's like, you want to see Phantom? Nah, we can see that anytime. Because it's one of those plays that's just endlessly running on Broadway and on the West End. Remember, in the United States, in New York, the highest level of theater is Broadway. And in across the pond, it's the West End. And you might recognize other things from Lord Andrew Lloyd Webber and his collection. Cats, Memories, All Alone on the Page. I hate the musical Cats. I despise the musical Cats. It's horrible watching people jumping around dressed like cats. Now, that song and some of the songs are masterpieces. And Cats, just like Phantom of the Opera, had, it beat records, batió muchos récords for running, for Broadway run, for West End run. So this guy knows how to produce hits. Also, Phantom of the Opera, Jesus Christ Superstar, And I'm sure you all know this one from Evita. Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is, I never left you. He wrote that. That's this guy. I know Madonna sings it, but he wrote it. Also, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, which was another very, very important musical. So this guy is the Baron of Broadway. Let's call him that, because his name is Andrew Lloyd Webber, Baron Lloyd Webber, the Lord Lloyd Webber. And he's got a hyphenated name. So solo con eso, tener, to have a hyphenated name, man. So just imagine, people saying, so what, let's see your resume. No, vamos a decir que no le conocen. Let's see your resume. Have el curriculum. And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. Here, take a look. He whips it out, lo saca, and it's like Cats, Phantom of the Opera, Jesus Christ Superstar, Evita, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Should I continue? And of course, he's got an Oscar, an Emmy, a Grammy, and a Tony Award. He's got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And if you don't know who he is, you are missing out. You can check playlists. So maybe you don't want to listen to the whole musical of Phantom of the Opera, but there are playlists. If you look for, you search for Andrew Lloyd Webber playlist, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, on Spotify. And really, I just gave him that name. I've never heard anybody call him that before, but I like it. That's his new name, the Baron of Broadway. Folks, we've got to take a quick commercial break. The good news, we'll be right back. We've got so much to cover on today's show. We've still got to look at homophones. We've got double trouble. Wait, did I say double? Triple trouble today. We've got movies, we've got music, and so much more up ahead. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting, interactive, informative, and tons of fun. Let's be honest. We have a lot of fun together. Every day, doing fun stuff, playing, making friends. And this is just one of the many, many shows on Vaughn Radio. So don't forget to tune into our brand new shows today. At 3 p.m., you've got Ruby. Great song. Goodbye, Ruby Tuesday. Who could hang her name on you? Ruby, what a great song. What a great name. Ruby. Oh. It's a great song. Great songs, great name. And I imagine an amazing show. Today at 3 p.m., join her. Give her a lot of support, guys. Give her a warm welcome on her new program, Speak Up. And then at 7:30, you've got a date with Chris Frank in Frankly Speaking. Send them a lot of love, the same love you send me and Ximena and all of the other Vaughn Radio presenters, the same love that we appreciate, guys. Makes us feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Aww. So show them lots of love. Today at 3, Speak Up with Ruby, and at 7:30, Frankly Speaking with Chris Frank. You're gonna love them. All right, folks, let's see what we've got over here. Oh, I know what we've got. Homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And here's where I'm going to give you 2 words that may or may not sound the same. I'm going to leave it in your hands. But first, you have to be familiar with the words. So let's see if you guys, know the words, if you recognize them. Now, the first one, speaking of embarrassing mistakes, I used to call the tiny holes in your skin that many times you can't even see, right? I used to call them porros. I was like, estás sudando de los porros. And I remember somebody was like, what are you talking about, man? I was like, I don't smoke. I'm like, los porros. And the student was like, no, porro. I'm like, oh, big difference by adding that R in there. So there's that's something that you could tell, something like that on the question of the week on Friday. So just giving you some ideas, things that the many faux pas or times I put my foot in my mouth. So the first one is a tiny hole in your skin. And I believe that's where the skin breathes. You also sweat. You can perspire from there as well. And it's not porro in Spanish. It's poro. I know that now. And also, if we add the preposition over, then it means to read something in detail, closely read it, right? So we'll look at that as well. It could be a perfect double trouble in the future. The second word that I want you to give me is to serve a drink. So if you say, sírveme una copa de vino, how would you say that? Servir. Verter también. So it's the action of vertiendo algo con el fin de servir o no. También puede ser vértelo en la bañera. It doesn't have to be to drink, but it's used all the time at the table. Okay. Also, it's another way of saying it is pissing down. Está lloviendo a cántaros. It's Now, I know you guys have heard it's raining cats and dogs, but I don't use that one. I've never used that one. We do say it's pissing down or it's and so that word y tiene sentido, ¿no? Está vertiendo, derramando, saliendo en masa, right? What else? Rociar, diluviar, as we said before. All right. So those are your words. We'll see if you guys are familiar with them, and then we'll see if you know if they sound exactly the same or not. Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite. This is the third listen, so please write down what you hear.
When I go along the road in the car, I'm always doing the signpost backwards. Anyway, she didn't split the Beatles because how could one girl split the Beatles or one woman? You know? The Beatles were drifting apart on their own, you know.
All right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Quite obvious who it is. But again, I'm not interested in that part. I already know that, and I think you know that. So we'll move the obvious out of the way and get right down to the nitty-gritty. To get down, toma expresión nativa. To get down to the nitty-gritty, ir a la chicha, lo contundente, lo importante, lo sustancioso. Toma, hey. Me tenéis que dar totalmente nativos de vez en cuando, eh? I mean, sustancioso. How many times have you heard a Guidi say that? I know you don't think I'm a Guidi because of my name and because of my pronunciation, but I am. I am. Se notan como pronuncio en inglés. All right, let's see what we've got here in our homophone section. Some students taking a stab at it. German is the first one, and he says and those are the correct words, German, so great job. And he says, yes, they are homophones. Kubla, those are the correct words, and he agrees. Born to Iron Man says they sound alike as well. Are you kidding me? So 3 super show with no namers here are telling me that these words sound the same. You guys, anybody want to bet against them? Right? I wouldn't bet against them personally. All right. Well, let's say both words. Now, normally the first word is, let's say them, we'll say them in plural and in singular. So one pour, right? But normally we say, it's not really good for your pores, right? Porque se habla de muchos, como son, since they're really tiny, we usually talk about them in plural. So that cream is not good for your pores, right? It blocks your pores. He's sweating out of his pores. Pores. All right. So he's sweating out of his pores, and I'm seeing him as the sweat pours down his face. Do they sound the same? Okay, the sweat is coming out of his pores, and then it pours down his face. Absolutely. And then I guess it makes sense. I never even thought of this, but the word porous, okay, porous means something that, I don't remember how to spell this. Porous. Me lo está dando en español, claro. Yeah, porous is algo poro. So it makes sense. It has pores. It's porous, right? Now, to pour over, as I said before, is to read something really, really in detail. Okay. Another way to say it is to peruse. Toma palabra. Peruse. Peruse. So let me give you the example they give here. Deborah was poring over an Italian cookbook, and that means she was reading it. She was looking at it in detail. Eso es P-O-R-E. Pour over something. So there you go. That's 2 for 1 over there. And pour again. Look. Let me give you some examples just so you have it in context. Would you like me to pour the wine? Could you pour me some more wine? Okay. Another one. The chemist poured the liquid into the beaker, right? El tubo, the beaker. They poured all their money into that. Echaron, despilfarraron, no reparar en gastos. What else? After the dam broke, la presa, el dique, all the water just poured out. Se derramó. Guys, it's raining, it's pouring. You know the song? It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. Classic. You can say it's pouring or it's pouring down. Both of those mean that it's raining really hard. All right. And I'm looking if there's any more to pour something out. Okay, pour out that water, and I'll give you some new waters. Verter, volcar. So there you go, folks. I think that about covers it. Pouring sweat, as we said before. Also, it sounds exactly like another word. What is that other word that it sounds like? Does anybody know? So P-O-R-E, poro. P-O-U-R, verter, llover a cántaros. And P-O-O-R, poor, pobre. Que también no solo es pobre. Poor es la palabra que usamos cuando no queremos decir malo, como que necesitas mejorar. So a teacher would never say, your test results were really bad. Because a bad seems like there's no improving it. Now, if they say your test, it means the same thing. But again, every word has its weight. Tiene su peso. So if they say your results were really poor, that means we can improve them. That's the same thing as saying we have a problem. We have a little matter, a little issue. Matter suena mejor que issue, y problem, pues elimínalo de tu vocabulario. Because what happens the moment somebody says, Houston, we have a problem? Well, everybody goes into a panic. And that's a movie quote. Speaking of movies,
Name that movie.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It is Name That Movie. And here we go. We'll see if you guys can figure out the movie. This movie, I remember when it came out, but I don't remember seeing it, which means two things. Either I didn't see it because my memory's not so good, or it was not a memorable movie. I don't know. But either way, as I said, I don't choose the movies for how memorable they are or their score on Rotten Tomatoes. No, I choose them because I want them to have some really juicy stuff that I can teach you in English, some totally native stuff. All right, so is everybody ready? Let me give you our synopsis here. Okay, in fact, I think I've got some. Okay, here we go. 3 years ago, entomologist Dr. Susan Tyler genetically created an insect to kill cockroaches carrying a virulent disease. Now, the insects are out to destroy their only predator, mankind. Whoa. Whoa. All right. Sounds like some mutant bugs there, right? So 3 years ago, hace 3 años, entomologist, I think that's easy, entomólogo, no? A specialist in insects, Dr. Susan Tyler genetically created an insect to kill cockroaches. A cockroach es una cucaracha. By the way, this weekend, if you follow me on Twitter, I shared a picture of a saltamontes. There was one in my garden, a grasshopper. I'm learning a little bit about bugs for an upcoming episode of FYI on bugs. Hey, I like to learn about all kinds of things. That's the whole idea on FYI. 1 week I'm learning about, supermarkets, and the next week I'm learning about weapons. And for example, the weapons episode I'm working on right now, you can't find somebody who knows less about weapons than me. I don't know anything about. I'm a hippie, a barefoot hippie. No, descalzo. But it was interesting because I learned about the history of weapons, about, different fun facts. So the idea is if I'm learning, hopefully you're learning along with me and having fun. All right, does anybody recognize the movie? The movie is called Mimic, and it's a movie that came out, give me one second, in 1997. So I remember I was in college. And who's Guillermo? You might recognize the director, Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro, the director, famous director. It stars Mira Sorvino, actress Mira Sorvino, Jeremy Northam, and Alexandra Goodwin. Now, have any of you seen this one there? Where these insects are out to be out to do something. Tienen la meta de hacer tal cosa, el objetivo. They are out to destroy their only predator. Que es interesante porque vosotros decís depredador. We say just predator. You know, the movies, the predator. Y al final acaba con la palabra mankind, que últimamente se dice humankind, por así, pues mira. Pero es lo mismo. It's the same, again, somebody, you didn't include me. Well, you want to be included in you know, the Holocaust here, where the bugs kill all the humans? Good luck. All right, well, folks, it looks like Kubla got it over here. Great job. The movie is called Mimic. Mimic, which is imitador o mimo, o es imitar, también es el verbo. Are you mimicking me? Are you mimicking me? To mimic, right? Mimic. I don't know what the name is in Spanish. Maybe, is it mimo? I would be like, oh, mimos, qué bonito. A little bit different, right? So, Mimic came out in 1997. Again, I remember it being pretty popular. On IMDb, it has 6 out of 10 stars, which is pretty good, especially, you know, as time goes on, movies get less popular. They lose ratings. They lose places on the chart. But still, it seems like at least it's still a movie worth watching, especially if you're a Guillermo del Toro fan. All right. So also, ladies and gentlemen, we've got somebody who nailed today's Say What soundbite. Give it up for Kubla. Nice job. All right, let's take a look at Mimic. And if you didn't know the word, it's kind of a cool word now that I'm saying it a lot. Mimic. Well, this is an interesting thing. Let me tell you, sometimes the story behind the scenes is just as interesting as the one that happens in front of the camera. And the director, as I just said, Guillermo del Toro, he disowned the film. What does that mean? Do you remember when you were younger and your parents said, I'm going to disown you? When you're 18, cuando tienes 18, ya no eres propiedad, ya no eres responsabilidad mía. Hombre, porque poseer en inglés, te voy a desposeer. I'm going to disown you. Well, he disowned this film. And because he had constant clashes son peleas, with broncas, with Harvey and Bob. Those names ring a bell? Harvey and Bob, the Weinsteins, the pervert. I don't know about Bob, but he knew what his brother was doing too. Now, Miramax made some really good movies, but that doesn't excuse being a pervert and a sexual predator. Hablando de depredadores. So basically, Bob Weinstein complained that the early footage, lo que se rodó al principio, was not scary enough. And so he would frequently visit the set, hacía visitas al plató, and he made unreasonable demands. And unreasonable demands are saying, you got to shoot this, you got to Now, first, he doesn't even, I'm sure he doesn't know the possibilities even, but that's the worst. When someone comes in, you're like, this isn't your part, man. You're supposed to just organize the paying, the getting everything, And so he went in there and he was always trying to deviate from the script, which is also co-written by Guillermo del Toro. And this was not working. The relationship wasn't working. Bob Weinstein threatened to fire del Toro and replace him. But del Toro was actually saved by Mira Sorvino, who recently won an Oscar for the movie Mighty Aphrodite, which was 2 years before in 1995. And that was produced by Miramax as well. So she went up to the Weinsteins and she confronted them. And she says, I will quit the film right now if you do not respect Guillermo del Toro's original vision and script. And she threatened to quit right there on the spot, en ese momento. And she was also dating Quentin Tarantino at that time. Now, is everybody putting the picture here together? Who else was producing a lot of very big films for Miramax, making them a lot of money? Pulp Fiction, all that's okay. Well, yes, Quentin. So they were like, oh, two of our important stars here are kind of, laying down the law, diciendo, esto es lo que hay. Okay. And well, finally, he got his way, Guillermo del Toro. But the thing is, they oversaw the final cut of the film. And that's something that all directors fight for, having the final cut. And the Weinsteins got final cut. It was in the contract. He didn't quit the project. He wasn't fired either or anything like that. But that was the last time he ever worked with the Weinsteins. And what he has done since then, since he originally disowned the film, is he created a director's cut, which supposedly is a lot closer to his version of what his vision of the movie. And yeah, he was not happy at all. And that was the first and the last time he worked with the Weinsteins. Let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen over here. Dr. Susan Tyler says, when I increase the Judas's metabolism, okay, dos palabras que seguro que conocéis. Judas, que es Judas. Judas. But we don't say Judas. Who does that? Who does that? Who does that? Who does that silly stuff? We say Judas. Judas. His name is Judas, a traitor. The traitor, the original old school traitor, right? Traidor original. And but that's what they called this experiment. And so they're talking about the metabolism. Los ismos son ism. It's como un what did you say? Ism. So Judas's metabolism. Say that 5 times fast. I must have sped it up, and to speed is an irregular verb. Incrementar velocidad. Speed, sped, sped. Se va quitando una E, ¿no? En la segunda y tercera columna, solo una E. So he sped through the traffic light, ¿no? A toda velocidad. So I must have sped up its breeding cycle, ¿no? Hacerlo, slow down es ralentizar. Well, it's the opposite. And breeding is procreación. I mean, we're talking tens, hundreds of thousands of generations. Who knows how many mutations? ¿Quién sabe cuántas mutaciones? And then Peter Mann says, I don't get it. I just don't get this. How could the Judas evolve into this? Ojo con esta palabra. Las veces que he oído evolutionate. Lo entiendo, evolucionar, evolutionate, pero no. En este caso es to evolve. How could the Judas evolve into this? No, convertirse, evolucionarse en esto. And Susan says, think generations, not years, okay? It took only 40,000 generations for apes to turn into humans. And apes, simios, Planet of the Apes, si conocéis el título original. And Peter Mann says, so, ¿y qué? And Susan says, we changed its DNA, Peter. Recognize that word, DNA? You say ADN, we say DNA. We changed its DNA, Peter. I mean, we don't know what we did. Realmente no sabemos qué hicimos. So there you go. It's the typical thing. You're in a lab. The experiment has gotten out of hand. And then everything just goes down the tubes por el garete. down the tubes. Buenísima expresión si no la conocías. Folks, I can't believe it. We've got to go to a quick commercial break. Yeah, we're going to be back with the fourth and final part of today's show. Man, thank you so much for really making this such an amazing 2-hour period for me as your teacher. It's a pleasure. But we're not done yet. I'm still going to challenge you. We've got our triple trouble up ahead and so much more. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to this, the fourth and final. I can't believe it. Final part. Jeez, guys. Honestly, it feels like I just sat down here a minute ago. All right. My back is a little bit sweaty. But if it weren't for that, you know. Welcome back, amigos. So much to do here in the fourth and final part of today's show with no name. So we're going to put the pedal to the metal. Just a quick reminder, though, today at 3 p.m., Ruby will rock your world with Speak Up. Te dejará atónito. She'll rock your world. From 3 to 4 p.m. today. Be the first one to listen to this show and support Ruby and her new program. Then at 7:30, from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., you've got Chris Frank and Frankly Speaking. Don't miss him. Make sure you wish him a nice warm welcome. You guys are a part of the Vaughn family, so you got to welcome them. Follow us on social media for more, and this way you know what's going on in the Vaughn world, and you never miss a beat. No te pierdes ni una. All right, folks, it's time for triple trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It's triple trouble. That's right. And I even have my little graphic over here. As you guys know, those of you who watch the show, just not so much to remind you guys, but also to remind myself, you can always see what section we're in. Well, always, if I remember to change the graphic. And I just added the triple trouble. So good luck to all my amigos. I urge you all to participate. It won't be easy, but it's doable. Here we go. Ella hizo un spagat. That's the funniest word I've ever heard. Spagat. What do you want? Spaghetti or what do you want? I want spaghetti and I want also some stromboli. Spagat. Is that the spagat? I'm pronouncing it like spagat. Spagat. Ella hizo un spagat. Entonces lo dejó con su novio y se piró. Whoa. That's it. 3 times, same word. So ella hizo un spagat, pone aquí. Entonces lo dejó con su novio y se piró. All right, so there you go, my amigos. That's your triple trouble today. Also, what we've got to do is take a look at our Say What soundbite for the 4th and final time.
When I go along the road in the car, I'm always doing the signpost backwards. Anyway, she didn't split the Beatles because how could one girl split the Beatles or one woman? You know, the Beatles were drifting apart on their own. You know.
All right, there you go, my amigos. There you go. That's the 4th listen. I'm sure many of you know who it is. It's kind of evident today. It's obvious. You don't even have to be a fan of the group because, as I said, some people are just larger than life. You know, some people are famous and some people are just, you know, icons. And I think this guy is in the icon category. All right, so let's see if anybody got our triple trouble. Ella hizo un spagat. Let's see if there's another way to say it here too. Sí, hacer un spagat. It's that thing that if I do it, I'm going to split my butt crack in half, right? And my pants, obviously. And I just, my big mouth, I just gave you guys the answer, and I didn't even mean to. Which is why it's a name that means, excuse me, it's a name that makes sense. Anybody? Again, I see a lot of people participating here, translating names, telling jokes and stuff, but I prefer if we stick to the script here, because if you're participating in your own sections, I'd prefer if you participate in the ones we're all participating in. Let's see. We're going to get to your joking, but let's focus, guys, because if not, as you know, we get to the end of the show, I got to cut the jokes, and I don't like to. I like to keep every section, and even if I have to go through it a little bit quicker. All right, let's see. Laura, there she is, a model student once again. Let's see how she did in our triple trouble over here. Laura says she did a split, then she split up with her boyfriend, and then she split off. Yeah. Awesome. And it makes sense to split es dividir. ¿Qué haces con tus piernas ahí? With your crotch, tu entrepiernas, right? So, she did a split, then she split up with her boyfriend, and then she split off. Now, Laura, I wouldn't even put the off at the end. I would just say she split. She split. Where did she go? She split. I love the old funny expression, make like a banana and split. Como una banana, you split. And it makes sense if you think about it. You split a banana, split. They split the banana down the middle. The spagat is a split. It totally makes sense. To split up is dos partes se apartan. So really, the idea of a split is the same everywhere. She did a split, then she split up with her boyfriend. You can say she split with her boyfriend, but es más como un split up. Y el otro, and then she split. Se piró. She split. So great job over there. Wonderful, Laura. Kubla also got it as well. Kubla says, can I ask whatever happened to the radio presenters who used to be in those slots? Yeah, you can ask, but I don't know. You got to understand something. I just do my show. I produce my show. I don't know. I honestly don't know what's going on. But if you want, you can ask Vaughn, right? And even if I did know, Kubla, which I don't, I'm not here to give anybody's information out without talking to them first. So I don't know, honestly. I wish everybody good luck and I move on. But if you really need to know, you can try asking somebody who knows what's going on. Keep the questions here to English. No gossiping and stuff, because I don't get involved on purpose. So it's not something that I even ask about, honestly, because many people come and go and everybody, I'm sure, has their reasons. But if you're asking me for the specifics, I have no freaking idea. And it's on purpose because it's not my business at all. But if you feel like it's something you'd like to know about, you can try asking maybe other people at Vaughn if you'd like to know. Or I think the best thing to do is ask those people, right? And then it's not so much gossiping. It's, hey, I'm concerned. What's going on? And if they'd like to tell you, well, then it's their decision. But I could never give other people's information, even if I did know it, because that has happened in the past with other presenters. People say, what happened to Drew, or what happened? And sometimes I knew, sometimes I didn't know the situation. Sometimes I only know one side of the situation. But either way, not here. That's not what we're here for. All right. Let's see. Machus, what's up, Machus? She says, hi from Valencia. Machus, I was going to answer your email, but I haven't had a chance to answer it. Yes, Machus, I'm talking right to you now. Everybody else, if you already heard the information, this is for you, Machus. November 1st, 2023, 2023, o sea, menos de un mes, we'll be at Roll Madrid. And yes, I'm hosting the trivia night. Así me ahorro el correo. Machus, you got it? Will we see you on November 1st? That would be awesome. All right, well, great job on our triple trouble, amigos. But now we've got to move on to what I think is one of your favorite sections. You're joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking. That's right, amigos. That's right. You're joking. Here's where we learn a linglish. I'm going to learn with you guys. Hopefully, I'll learn how to pronounce some words today, too. Man. All right. As you say, cosas del directo. I get tongue-tied. Why? I'm human. You try saying 500,000 words in 2 minutes, in 2 hours. See? I don't even know. Here we go, my amigos. Here are your jokes. I hope you find them punny. Graciosos por el juego de palabras, because they're a pun. So here's more of an observation. Let's see if you get the first one here. A fine is a tax for doing wrong. A tax is a fine for doing well. You get it? Hey, it's playing with double meanings there. And I never thought of it. It's actually a brilliant sentence. So a fine is a tax for doing wrong. Okay? Si la cagas, pues multa. Right? A fine is a tax, un impuesto, for doing something wrong. You're parking, speeding. Vimos antes exceso de velocidad. And a tax, un impuesto, is a fine for doing well. Oh, you did well this year? Give us your tax money. And it's true. So in English decimos, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, right? But funny little play on words there. And the expression, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, is mires como lo mires, estás, you know. All right, so let me repeat it now that I explained it to you. A fine, una multa, is a tax for doing wrong. A tax is a fine for doing well. So they're both versions of each other. All right, next one here. What do you call a Russian procrastinator? No Russian, Russian. What do you call a Russian procrastinator? A Putinov. Putinov? No. Putinov. 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 Putin. No. A procrastinator, somebody who puts things off. Putinov. Aplazando. Putting off. Well, hey, if you didn't know the phrasal verb, now you do. You've been putting it off for weeks. Here, I'll use it in real context. Guys, this week, you have 2 weeks almost to participate in the question of the week. Please don't put it off, right? No lo aplaces. Don't put it off. So a putting off. Okay. All right. Fine. Also, if something puts you off, it turns you off. Te rechaza, no causa rechazo. Okay, so putting off, to put things off. All right, here's another one for you. A long time ago, we had empires run by emperors, correct? Right? A long time ago, hace muchos años, el año de la pera, as you say, the pear year, we had empires that were run by, llevados por, emperors. Vamos a decir esas palabras. Empire, emperor. Then we had kingdoms run by kings. Now we have countries run by, okay, I'm not going to say the word because it's one of those words that causes a reaction. I want you guys to fill in the blank here, okay? So I'll say it again, and you fill in that last one, and we'll see if you catch the play on words. So a long time ago, we had empires run by emperors. Then we had kingdoms run by kings. And now we have countries run by C-U-N-T-S. Capullos, cabrones. Pero es una palabra muy fea. Bueno, más en Estados Unidos, fíjate. It's a word that if you want to get a reaction in the United States, all you have to do is say C-U-N-T at the top of your lungs. And everybody in the room will be like, gasp for air. They'll gasp. Eso se llama gasp. G-A-S-P. They'll gasp for air and be like, I can't believe he just said it. And British people seem to throw the word around quite flippantly. So I guess it's a cultural thing as well. But you get it now? Y yo creo que todo el mundo da igual tus colores. Cree que el mundo está llevado por gilipollas. Las cosas como son, right? Forget left, right, and center there. I see a lot of incompetent criminals running things. All right, so countries are run by C-U-N-T-S. Again, a word I wouldn't recommend you use. It also is a very dirty word for vagina as well. So vagina, capullo, okay? Pero capullo, hijo de la gran, right? Tiene el peso de hijo de la gran, me cago en todos tus muertos. That kind of, at least in the United States. So don't say the word in the United States. But I thought it would be funny to take a look at it at the joke and then tell you it's a no word. Last joke. What's the difference between baseball and politics? What is the difference between baseball and politics? We were looking at some baseball expressions the other day. Well, in baseball, you're out if you get caught stealing. In baseball, you're out if you get caught stealing. Well, baseball, remember, there's 3 strikes and you're out. Y eso es una expresión. O sea, vosotros tenéis 2 amarillas, es una roja. Nosotros 3 oportunidades tienes, la cuarta no. 3 strikes and you're out. O sea, 3 y la cagaste, Burt Lancaster, right? So, what's the difference between baseball and politics? In baseball, you're out. Estás eliminado. You're out if you're caught stealing. Si te pillan robando la base, que es adelantar una base. Okay, so when the pitcher pitches the ball to the batter, so he hits it, you can start running beforehand and you can steal that base, but they can also tag you out. if they get there before you. So that's called stealing a base. De hecho, se mira when you look at the statistics of baseball players. One of them is RBIs, runs batted in. ¿No? ¿Cuántas veces han marcado cuando han bateado? And another one you have is stolen bases. Y no es que los tienen en su casa, es que han adelantado una base. So in baseball, you're out if you're caught stealing. En el béisbol, si te pillan robando, estás fuera. In politics, you end up joining one of the boards, un comité de dirección when you finish, with a nice cushy job, un trabajo muy cómodo, como los llaman en inglés, the revolving doors, right? The revolving doors is como, okay, primero vas a hacer, first you're going to be the regulation committee, but when you quit here, I'm going to hire you for triple what you make. So treat us good. You know, we're going to take care of you. And that's what we call that revolving door. All right, amigos, it's time to move on to a little birthday celebration.
1, 2, 3. Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. Famous birthdays only on the show with no name. We've got to move quick here. The first person was born in 1964, a Mexican-American director, producer, and screenwriter. He has won 3 Academy Awards, 3 BAFTAs, an Emmy Award. And man, this guy is the king of horror, but fairy tale horror. You know, como de cuento de hada, like, this kind of stuff. And he really uses visual effects. And I mean, he's a visual artist as well. And what else? What could we say? Some of his movies that you will, I'm sure, know: The Devil's Backbone, Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy, Blade 2, Mimic, which was today's Name That Movie, Pacific Rim, and even in 2022, last year, Pinocchio. So yeah, this guy is definitely, I think, awesome. You know, as a visual artist, as a director, and he just seems like an interesting dude. All right, number 2. This guy was born in 1948. And guys, I can't believe this. I did not plan this. Remember before I said we got to get down to the nitty-gritty, ir a lo importante, lo sustancioso? Well, this guy was writing songs for the Nitty Gritty Band. O sea, hay un grupo que se llama The Nitty Gritty. And la expresión es to get down to the nitty gritty. No, lo importante, lo esencial. So he was in the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. And he also obviously was not obviously, but he was also a solo artist. Some of his songs: Doctor, My Eyes, Rock Me on the Water, Take It Easy, The Pretender, Here Come Those Tears Again, Running on Empty. Esa me encanta. Running on Empty es voy sin combustible. I'm running on empty. And by the way, we are running out of time, so let me give you today's 3 famous birthdays. Number 1, Guillermo del Toro. Number 2, Jackson Brown. And number 3, I didn't even give it to you. Well, I didn't even tell you number 3. Solo te hice los dos. I'll just say one sentence. Imagine all the people. Done, right? Everybody knows him. The guy we're looking at in today's Say What soundbite, I imagine everybody knew it was John Lennon. John Lennon. And this is an interview with him and Yoko Ono. And he said, when I go along the road, because they were talking about doing anagrams. So he was saying, Ringo Starr backwards is rats. No, es ratas al revés. And they were playing with these anagrams. And so John Lennon says, when I go along the road in the car, cuando voy por la carretera en el coche, I'm always doing the signposts backwards. Siempre estoy haciendo los letreros al revés. Anyway, she didn't split the Beatles we looked at the word split today in all its different incarnations. And anyway, she didn't split the Beatles because how could one girl split the Beatles or one woman? The Beatles were drifting apart on their own, you know. All right, well, here he is, the one and only John Lennon.
When I go along the road in the car, I'm always doing the signpost backwards. Anyway, she didn't split the Beatles because how could one girl split the Beatles or one woman? You know, the Beatles were drifting apart on their own. You know.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. Great job on today's show. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for participating. Thank you for having fun with us. Thank you for bringing the good vibes. It doesn't matter if it's Friday, Monday, Wednesday, or somewhere in between. You guys are always here with bells on, con muchas ganas. And that is my motivation. Because you go big, I go bigger. That's how it works. When I see motivated students, I will stop at nothing. And that's that. You guys keep showing me that you're driven, motivados, and I'm going to keep giving you 110%, everything I got, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you again for making this just a wonderful 2-hour period where we get to learn, laugh, and play and share together. It's been an absolute pleasure. Up next, we've got Ximena Holiday with Test Your English. And then remember, we've got our new programs. And again, that is at 3 p.m. from 3 to 4 p.m. You've got Speak Up with Ruby. And then from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., you've got Chris and his program, Frankly Speaking. So don't miss them. And I'd love to hear what you thought about the programs tomorrow on our show with no name. And today's song is Jackson Browne, really a quintessential American musician. And the song is Running on Empty. Os lo dije antes, ¿no? Estoy sin combustible. I'm running on empty. Because you can say we're running out of. Nos estamos agotando, quedando sin. But to be running on empty means no me queda petróleo, no me queda gas. So running on empty, looking out at the road, rushing under my wheels, dándose prisa debajo de mis ruedas. Looking back at the years gone by, like so many summer fields. I'm 65. I was 17 and running up one. I don't know where I'm running now. I'm just running on empty. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. We'll be back tomorrow with more, I promise. Ciao for now.